Hello and welcome to this video. I am here going to talk about understanding the COVID spikes using the Ashtak Varga of Saturn. I hope you guys are keeping very well and keeping yourself protected, and whatever the protocols has to be followed, you're following it. Take long breathing, wear mask and all. But something has cropped up, and I really wanted to understand this why this COVID spikes happening. Because last time I was working on something which is the Ashtak Varga of Saturn, but this time since the COVID spike, the COVID cases has suddenly increased from the month of April. Let me just give my analysis on the basis of Ashtak Varga of using Ashtak Varga of Jupiter and Ashtak Varga of Saturn. Now, if you see India's chart, this is India's Lagna, and let me just take you to my screen share using this for a moment, and I will increase this a little bit in just a minute. So, if you see the chart of India, now this is the chart of India. So here the ascendant is Taurus basically. Now if you see Taurus, Taurus is number 2. So this is Taurus, and so here we are going to concentrate on two basic parts, two basic rashis, which is the Capricornus and Aquarius. Okay, and we are going to study the natal. This is called as Ashtak Varga. Ashtak Varga means the see, if we wanted to understand something very mathematically, so we need to understand that what is the influence of the planets are on different rashis. So it gives the valuation in terms of numbers. So like for example, Ashta means 8. So here we take 8 things into consideration. One is the ascendant, Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. Okay, so the valuation can be from 0 to 8. So maximum, the minimum valuation given by one planet can be 0, and the maximum valuation can be given by 8. So this is very important. So 0 to 3, 4 is like below average, very bad result. So very bad power given by that planet in that particular Rashi or in that particular zodiacal sign. And if this is more than 4, then this is a very good good effect. This is very good point. This is very good power given by thing. So if we see the transits at the moment, because last year Saturn moved into Capricorn. So this is Capricorn. Here if we see, this is Capricorn. So if I'm just going to draw something. So this is Capricorn. Okay. So Saturn has come to Capricorn. Now let us go to the Ashtak Varga chart. So these are the independent Ashtak Varga chart. This is ascendant Ashtak Varga chart. According to, so if you see this Rashi chart is the date of birth is 15th August 1947, 12:01 a.m. So on the basis of that we have defined the Kundalini. So this is the promise which is given in the chart, and this is the transit. So there are 3 things. Understand. So whenever we wanted to understand an effect of any planet, we see the promise given in the chart. Then we see the dashas are like every in some time a planet comes and take over the control of that area on some aspect of that, some bhavas, and then comes the dasha, antardasha, and the final the delivery boy is called as the transit. The transit is continuously happening. The planets are moving all around the universe in the zodiacal signs, all around the earth. So now at the moment Saturn is in Capricorn in the night sky, if you see, and Jupiter is in Aquarius. So now see, for example, what are the values of Jupiter and Saturn in the Ashtak Varga chart. So Sarvashtak, there are 2 things, Sarvashtak Varga and Bhinnashtak Varga. Bhinnashtak Varga means independent charts, independent planetary influences, and if we add up this planetary influence on a particular bhava, we get the Sarvashtak Bindu, basically Sarvashtak points. So here, for example, now Saturn has come last year in Capricorn. So you see the Capricorn point is 1. Okay, and Jupiter was last year in Capricorn itself. So Capricorn's Jupiter points is 5. So 5 is a very good point. But since Jupiter was 1, and this is we are dealing with India, so India actually passed through a very patchy phase. Jupiter, because of Saturn and Jupiter, because these 2 planets are very important planet. So if we come to this this thing, and we we move into the thing. So what we try to understand, what is Jupiter and what is Saturn. So Jupiter is associated with what? Jupiter is associated with growth, expansion, healing. So it's the support system, prosperity, fortune. It's a knowledge for care. The healthcare system, the main knowledge actually comes from Jupiter. And so what is Saturn? So the space is also given by Jupiter. Jupiter is Akash Tattva. So whatever the space you see, even the any space is required. So Jupiter represents space. So if you were talking about even the space in the lungs where oxygen can flow, so that space is given by Jupiter. And what is Saturn? Saturn is karma devta. So whatever the actions human beings do, he looks into the karma, he looks into the actions, and he gives the reward accordingly. And Saturn represents the air element, very important. So in order to the air element to move, you need space. Okay. So let us go back to our screen sharing and try to understand what is happening all over the thing at the moment. So we come here and we just blow this up so it will benefit. So Jupiter at the moment, Jupiter was before April, Jupiter was in this Capricorn. So it was a good point. It was giving 5 points, and Saturn as usual was giving 1 point. So India was passing through some kinds of ups and downs, and we saw a huge crisis in this moment. But now what is happening, like if I just stop and show you the spikes, if I stop sharing and we just go to the screen share and we see that, and we enlarge this, we will find what we are finding, that there is a kind of a spike which is happening. So if we see the so before April, see the number of cases. So if you see the number of cases, daily new cases. So before April the cases were coming down. So somewhere in the it is now down, and suddenly in the month of April, what is happening? So month of April, as I said, Saturn, Jupiter moved into. Let me show you. Jupiter moved into Aquarius. So Aquarius, suddenly the valuation of Jupiter has got reduced. The Ashtakvara Bindu is of 2 points. So now 1 point has to be understood. So the whole of the journey, because Jupiter takes around 1 year to pass one zodiacal sign, and Saturn takes 2.5 years to pass a zodiacal sign. Now, when I am saying that that Jupiter's Ashtakvarga Bindu are very less in this point and Saturn's Ashtakvarga points are very less in this space, I don't say that the complete journey of Jupiter and the complete journey of Saturn is bad. So what happens during this? This is divided into 8 divisions. So it is called as 8 kakshas are there. So each kaksha has the kaksha lord. So when Jupiter passes through this zodiacal sign, it passes through the 8 different kakshas having 8 different kaksha lord. You can say that it passes through 8 different classes. Now it depends on which kaksha it is passing. For example, it is passing through the Saturn kaksha. Now when it is passing through Saturn's kaksha, we have to check the Saturn's lord, how much contribution Saturn has given here in this case. So it is like, for example, 4, it is like kind of an average. It is going towards good, but it is an average one. Now, for example, just in case it's passed, in the second kaksha comes the Jupiter's kaksha. Now, suppose Jupiter passes from first Saturn's kaksha, so it is 4, and then suddenly it passed to his own kaksha, which is Jupiter, it is given 2. Suddenly the condition will become worse. Then again, suppose it passed through, say, for example, Mars's kaksha. The third kaksha is generally of Mars. Mars is third. So from Jupiter's kaksha, Mars will see a little improvement. And then from Mars, it is going to go to Sun's kaksha. We will have to see Sun will do sudden good improvement. So not that whole of the thing. Similarly, the whole thing. If it comes to, for example, again moons. So from, if you compare Sun and Moon, the Moon will be there will be some challenge during the Moon kaksha, because Jupiter is in fact having lesser bindus. Also, it is not a good situation, but still the situation will be fluctuating in this case. Similarly, also in Saturn, when we are watching, the whole 2.5 years will not be equal. So if we 2.5 years if divided by 8, so 112 months, 112 days, sorry to say, each kaksha Saturn will pass around 112 days. So almost like Saturn will first through Saturn's Kaksha. Now since Saturn itself is having a poor Ashtak Varga, and if it passes through his own Ashtak Varga, the condition will be very horrible, which we have seen after Saturn's thing. So suppose it is again passing through Jupiter's Kaksha, then Jupiter's Kaksha, since in this zodiac it has given good results, it is going to be, the condition will become good. If it is passing through Mercury, it will bad. If it is passing through Venus Ashtak Varga, it is bad, because the points are given by the Kaksha lords are itself very low. Okay. And also one more thing which will happen during this time, every year what happens, Saturn and Jupiter goes retrograde. I will just explain you what is retrogression is. I will just quickly stop the sharing once. I will take you to my screen, my board over here. I hope you will able to see this. Okay, this is why I'm going to draw the India's chart over here. So like for example, this is the I'm going to draw the North Indian style Kundali here. So basically, what is Kundali? Kundali actually represents, this actually comes under, I believe there is a higher superpower and in the universe, and Jyotisha is a subject to understand. I call it basically source, to understand the power of the highest power, the Jyoti, the light of God. Isha is God. So this is the Kundali, and so this is number 2. This is the Taurus. This is the Lagna of India, and the Rashi, since Moon is sitting over here, so Cancer, we are having Cancer Rashi, but Jupiter at the moment is here. Jupiter is in Aquarius, and Saturn is at the moment in Capricorn. Saturn is his own house. This is having Ashtak Varga point of 1, and this is having Jupiter's Ashtak Varga point of 2, which is very poor. Now what will happen, as I was explaining, that it will pass through different kakshas during this movement, but also there will be one more movement that will take place. It is called as a retrogression, because what will happen, so Jupiter's movement is like this, it is moving like this, and Saturn is moving like this. But once it will happen during some month, due to the apparent movement of the Earth and the orbit, Jupiter will appear to move backwards, and it is called as a retrogression. So every year Saturn and Jupiter pass through the retrogression. So in the year 2021, Jupiter will move in a retrograde motion, and the degree will start reducing, and Jupiter will come back from Aquarius back to Capricorn. So in the Aquarius, what was the number? The Aquarius, the Ashtak Varga number, we see that Bhinna Ashtak Varga was 2, and for Jupiter it is number 5 here. So Jupiter becomes much more better when it comes back to Aquarius. And similarly, but in, for example, Saturn will also give a retrogression, but Saturn will not go back from Capri this year, at least in 2021. This will remain. This will change nakshatras, but this probably will not change the Rashi. So Saturn's Ashtak Varga will absolutely remain the same. At this point, I really want all of you to be to make it very, very clear. So we are here talking about 2 planets. So the Dasha at the moment is running about, the Dasha is above Moon, Jupiter and Saturn. So for which it is absolutely very, very important to understand this. See, we are talking about Jupiter and Saturn. We are talking about the Bhinnashtak Bindu number. We are saying that number 2 is not a very good number, number 1 is not a very good number, but Jupiter will pass through various kakshas and also become retrograde within some time. I will give you the exact dates. And Saturn will also, because Saturn has already, I think, completed 1 year and 1.5 years, because it is the whole journey of Saturn through one sign is about 2.5 years. So it has almost completed 1 year, and so 1.5 year remains, and but Jupiter has almost started. It is in the month of April. So this concept is clear. So you have to understand that it is going to, again, since the degree is going to be reversed very soon, I will explain you in the chart. We will go back to the screen sharing. Okay, so we will just screen share my file and increase it a bit. Okay, thank you so much being with me. Okay, so this is the concept. You should remember this number. Now we will go month by month. Let's understand what has happened in the month of so this is ephemeris, which I am showing you. The left side is ephemeris, left side is sun, moon, all the planets are there. I have just darkened rest of the other planets, and I have kept Jupiter and Saturn over here because we are interested. So this is the date. So this is the month of April I am showing. This is the month of April 2021. This is the date and the day. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so up to 30. And here is the degree. So degree, and this is the symbol that In April 2021, Jupiter was in Capri. You remember I said Jupiter was in Capricorn. So Jupiter was in Dish Rashi. Okay, Jupiter was in Dish Rashi, and the bindu of the Rashi was 5. Jupiter was giving 5 result. And since it is if we go over here and the degree is 29 basically, so that means Jupiter is the BAV given by Jupiter, the Ashtak Varga value, the Bhava Bhinashtak Varga is 5, and it was in the Kaksha of the ascendant. So and it is giving a result of 1. And Saturn was in the Bhinashtak Varga, Saturn was in Capricorn, and the degree according to it is Venus. So if we see Venus over here, it is little technical, but I will. So Venus is giving result 1 so Saturn is 1, Venus is 1. So Jupiter is 5 and ascendant is 5. So this is 5 and 1. So this is good, bad, bad, bad. So now what we saw here. So it was not a very positive sign. So this was very good sign, but it is not a very positive. So what is happening? We see some kind of cases have started to rise. Now 6th of April is the time when I have divided this whole month into 2 parts. Suddenly what has happened, Jupiter has entered into Aquarius. Now here from 5 it has dropped down to 2. Okay, again I will go back from 5. So this was 5, it has come to 2. That means Jupiter is giving less positive points, and the beginning bhava, if you see the 0 degree, so 0 degree to 3.5 degree is Saturn. So it has very less point, not good. Saturn is giving average result, and if you see the degree of the Saturn is 17 degree, the degree remains the same, and it is in Capricorn. Saturn is Capricorn, is giving bhava 1. So if you see this, Saturn in Capricorn is giving bhava 1, and Saturn is in Venus, which is also giving bhava 1. So this is, so what is the overall result? So overall result is a kind of a warning sign. So actually what happened now? So since Jupiter has from good to has not good, from 5 to 0, so suddenly we found that the cases are rising like tremendously. In the month of April we saw the cases. Now which month we need to be very, very, so here the dasha is running Moon, Saturn and Jupiter. So in the month of May, what is the situation now? Here since Saturn is still in an average point, but now see what is going to happen. Why we should be careful at the moment. Both in the month of May, Saturn will be in Capricorn, bhava 1, Mercury, but it will be in the Kaksha of Mercury, which is actually giving 2. Jupiter is in the Kaksha, Jupiter is in Aquarius, which is giving an Ashtak Varga of 2, and it is in the Kaksha of Jupiter 2. So that means the conditions are not good, not good, not good, not good. So we have to be extremely careful in the month of May. So, and also in the month of May, something is happening on 23rd, around 23rd, what is happening? We have a retrogression of Saturn which is taking place. So that means I explained you retrogression, Saturn will move reverse. Okay. So reverse sometimes, sometimes it's a little confusing time. Generally when the planet shows reversals into many things, we have to be very, very careful. But sometimes what happens in retrogression also sometimes mean that the energy accumulation will be there in the planet. So the planet is preparing for some kind of a power, but generally it actually creates more kind of a confusion. It depends on person to, it depends on chart to chart, kundalini to kundalini. But one has to become, whenever any planet gets retrograde, the people have to become very, very watchful. Now come to June. Now June is what is happening. The condition almost remains the same. The Saturn is in Capricorn in the Kaksha, moving from Mercury to Venus with the bhava 2, and Jupiter is already in Aquarius with bhava 2 in its own Kaksha, Jupiter giving 2. So not good, not good, not good, not good. So one have to be till around 16th of June, the condition one have to be very, very careful. Now we will get a slight improvement as the degree of Jupiter changes at from 7.58, it changes. What happens? It enters in the Kaksha of Mars. So Mars brings a little change, but we still need to be very, very careful. And on 20th, what happens? Jupiter itself becomes retrograde. So now when Jupiter gets retrograde, people will turn inward towards them. So there is a possibility that at that time we can search in, though the confusion still remains with the general masses, because some energy is suddenly getting retrograde. The energy accumulation will take place, but there will be chances of confusion. But here there is a possibility that whatever people are looking for, whatever solutions they are looking for, when they are traveling inward. So this is the time when Jupiter goes retrograde, there a window to go inward happens. So from the outside, the people's energies will go inside. So the people will able to understand their true power, their source power, their soul power inside themselves. So that is the time that they can utilize the masses of India can find out a solution. But the condition is not good, because the degree wise, if we see Jupiter degree and the Kaksha visit, we have to remain very watchful. So in the month of June and May, we have to be extremely watchful. So these are the 2 months which we have to be very careful. Okay, now see what is happening in the month of July. So month of the July, there what is happening, Jupiter, Saturn is still in Capricorn with Bhava 1, and the Kaksha is of Venus. So this also is of BAV, it's BAV, sorry, I'm not Bhava, this is BAV, is Bhinashtak Varga 1, value 1, and here also value 1, and Aquarius 2, and this is 2. So this is also not good. But here what is happening, the dasha is changing a little bit now from the dasha of Jupiter and Saturn. See what is happening here, we have the dasha of Saturn and Jupiter itself, and Jupiter and Saturn are, we are actually concerned about Jupiter and Saturn degree. Here the focus is changing to Mercury. Now Mercury is basically the third and the fifth house. The third is the resources of the people. That means we will find the focus will be on developing more resources, and it is Mercury sitting in the third house of the willpower of the people, and also it is dealing with the fifth house. So fifth house is it is, you can say, speculations. It's the house of higher university education. So the focus will change more on that part. Okay, focus will, and Mercury is of communication. So what messages are being given? So how can correct message will maybe given to the people during that time? The focus will be more on that part. But still, if we look into the these two planets, these are very key planets to understand astrology. These are two main planets. The condition has not improved as such. So let's move into the month of August. So August, still the condition remains the same, but till around like 11th 12th of thing, because the Jupiter and Saturn both are retrograde in this moment, and suddenly what is happening at the moment after say 13th of August, if we see the degree, the Capricorn, the Saturn remains Capricorn, and the Bhava becomes Sun. So the Kaksha BAV, the Kaksha Lord's BAV is 4, and here Aquarius, the Jupiter is in Aquarius, and whose Kaksha Lord Saturn's BAV is 4. So there is a slight improvement in the month of August. We see that the cases, and there is after the middle of, almost we can say the middle of August, we start to see some kind of an improvement over here, and this improvement continues in the month of September. And in September a little good thing happens. Now what is the good thing? During this retrogression process, Jupiter again goes back to Capricorn. So Jupiter was in Aquarius with a BAV of 2, it is now going to BAV of 5. So the month of September sees a very good result, because Jupiter certainly become powerful. So the all caring, all power of Jupiter, advantages of the Jupiter, the healthcare system get huge knowledge, and also the Sun is Saturn is in the Kaksha of 7, which is giving good result. Though the Kaksha is, since the degree is 29, the ascendant is not good, but there is some relief, huge relief, I will say. In the month of September, people may find that it has become a kind of monotonous situation. They have more acceptability. The new knowledge and new thing has come, new information have come which can help them. Now what is happening in the month of October? Now dasha change from here also, there is a shift of the Prayantar dasha and Ketu. So we need to see India's image in the month of September. There is some kind of there's positivity can happen, or some kind of India shows a kind of a upswing, an image consciousness. If the whole mass consciousness is working for the right thing, right purpose, and moving in the right karmic direction, so I think India will show a positive improvement. And here we see that in the month of September we have some kind of a relief. In the October, everything seems to going towards the same. So here what is happening again, the planets now are going to become direct. So when the planet getting direct, the new and positive influences, energies will start certainly propping up, and situation will, in the month of October, the situation seem to be going towards stability. Okay, and Saturn is not good, but its Kaksha Lord is giving good point, and Jupiter is very good, and it is in the Kaksha of ascendant. That is not good, but still, since the direct the planets are becoming direct, we can say that a new changeover will take place. What is happening in the month of November? We have to be real happening. So now, since Jupiter is getting direct, so from direct again it goes to Aquarius here in this case. So from Bhava 5, so we see that there is something, the situation is understable, but there is a possibility that in the month of November again we may have some kind of a challenge in the health sector, in the knowledge sector. Some new challenge may crop up, and again on end of November, since again when suddenly Jupiter enters into Aquarius, the situation goes out of hand. But it is not that bad, since it is Saturn is in the Kaksha of Sun, it is giving an average result, and Jupiter is in the Kaksha of Saturn. Still, but the warning is there, because we are here. The Jupiter is not so positive, because it is from 5, it has gone to number 2. Now come December. Now we have to be very careful in the month of December. We will see that the Saturn is also 1, Jupiter is 2, and from the Kaksha of Sun it is moving to Venus. Again the Saturn is moving to Venus, so that is there is a drop, but Jupiter is in the Kaksha of Saturn, it is good. So we are getting from not good average to not good, so new health challenges situation. And here at the end of almost after 19th of December, what we see here is that the situation again goes to a little out of hand. So this is absolute, because we are in the year end. So we are entering into January. In the beginning of the January, the things are not good. So we may think that this is not going to be a we should not anticipate that this is going to be a bad year, because this, I hope that January, the 2022 will be very good year, because anyway this is bringing a lot of Venus, because if you numerologically see, this is the year number 6. Individual chart may vary, but this is number 6. This is Venus, will bring a lot of comforts. It's a year that there will be a lot of empowerment which will be given to women. And Venus is a very good fighter, because Venus has this Sanjivani mantra with itself. So Venus brings a lot of healing energy also. So this is a year of healing. And actually, if you see just from the Ashtak Varga of the Jupiter, what is happening? So till the first 9-10 days, it's the situation is out of hand, but the situation is not good. But what is happening, that suddenly there is a kind of a change of Jupiter, and the degree change, and there is a kind of a improvement in case of this in January end part. And in the February, what is happening, there is some kind of, since this Jupiter's degree has changed, so the Kaksha Lord has changed, and Kaksha Lord, when Sun enters it, the Bhava is 5. So this is a light after dark cloud. So like it's there is a light after the tunnel. So this is a very light after, in the month of February, will bring some kind of a relief. Okay, and the dasha is also changing from Sun to Moon, and here also we see even the next part of February is also going to give, because the Kaksha Lords are becoming very powerful at the moment. So, and the situation starts to stabilize, and in the March, what situation again improves in same way. In terms of the Kaksha Lords are becoming powerful here. So Jupiter and Saturn like ride smoothly in that situation, improves. And but in the end of March, please don't worry. End of March again, since the Bhava Lords have changed, a little bit drop in the so little bit increase in the health challenges will take place in the month of March 2022, and this is a here is a very good thing, very positive, very positive, I will say. In the month of April 2022, what is going to happen is that as Jupiter's degree changes and it increases, it moves from basically the first part of April is we are seeing average result, but on the next, after 14th, Jupiter enters into Piscean. So Piscean, and if we see the Ashtak Varga of Piscean, so Jupiter enters Piscean with a 6. It's an amazing power which Jupiter gets. So Jupiter gets an amazing power. So what happens? The result becomes superb, and it's in the Kaksha of Saturn, it is average. So And though Saturn is still in not good and it is an ascendant, it is not good, but there is a huge improvement in every situation. One of the most important thing is going to happen again in the month of April, is that Saturn enters into Aquarius. Now when Saturn enters Aquarius, now you see Saturn from 1 point it is coming to 4. There are two major improvements which we are seeing at this moment, two major improvements. So improvement in Jupiter, improvement in Saturn, and so we can say, we can anticipate, and with the grace of the source and the almighty and the god and the heavens teams, like the planets, we can say that for India, April 2022 will bring a great relief to mankind. But the months we should be very careful is what month we should be careful. We should be careful for the month of May. We should be very, I'm talking about very careful. One should be very careful for the month of May, June, November, December and January. Very good. Rest of the month we definitely need to be observant, we need to be careful, but these are the months you should remember. That is the month of May, June and November, December and January next year. So I really request all of you that you basically take care and keep your families under protection, take care of your health, boost your immunity, stamina, vitality and energy. See, I just wanted this video, actually I made this video for the students of Source Guidance Program, but I really want that everyone, because there are a lot of researches happening, and I really request all the astrologers and all the people who are really doing research. So I hope that what am I saying, that I want from the depth of my heart that this thing should not happen, that some kind of a miracle happens and everything goes like whatever I'm saying, that you should be careful. I really want, nobody wants, whether it's an astrologer or a scientist, everybody or a doctor, they want the situation to improve. But now this is the kind of a science of planets, this is the frequency which we are receiving from planets. So I actually made this video for the students of Source Guidance Program, but I thought that why not just share it to the public and make it aware. And I really want that people who are specialists in astrology, numerology should come forward and do this kind of research, because it is for human beings, because these are meta sciences. So this is a meta sciences and it holds a lot of value, because our shears, our masters, guides, and there are many talented people, and people can also cross check with whatever I have done. So if there is anything, so they can comment and I will try to do the needful. But I have actually worked it out, and I saw these kind of trends which is happening, and I wanted to share this with you. So I really want that, just check it out and be careful. This is just for India as a whole, this is not for the world. I'm talking about this, I'm just using the Rashi chart of India on the basis of that, on the Ashtak Varga. Ashtak Varga is a very powerful science, but this will be for the whole over India. This is not for individuals, because see, the individual humanity suffers because they are not in alignment with the universe. And see, there are various people. So India is composed of many people. So suppose there is a kind of somewhere there is a misalignment, and these are the karmic thing which India has to pass through. These are the challenges, but I think by the grace of God and by staying in the right path, not doing wrong, because karma is the most important thing, whatever is happening, because the karma is the root cause. Basically, why? Because if you do bad, you will get bad. If you do something good, you will get good. And this is just showing you a representation. Okay, this is a representative chart of your karma. So that's why. So one of the theories is whatever you do will come back to you with compound interest. This is the time that we should all hold hand together. Okay, we should stand with each other, because the condition is not very patchy, very challenging. Because people who are losing their loved ones, people who are suffering at the moment, there's oxygen. So for example, that, as I said, Jupiter is for space and Saturn is for oxygen. Basically, there's no space. The space is certainly choking. As Jupiter is entering into Aquarius, suddenly this value is dropping and there's a kind of a choke. There is a kind of a oxygen is not able to move there. So there's a choking of the lungs, which is the lungs is the space. So space is represented by Jupiter. So what I am saying is that at the moment we should be very careful. This is a time of great patience, and we should have a great patience. We should respect the system, whatever is happening. We should abide by the rules and the regulation, not get frustrated, because we should be very very careful about all our actions. We should do good actions, we should take actions, and like this black marketing and hoarding we should avoid. Like if for our actions, or if somebody's for somebody's action somebody is getting killed, because see, someone is requiring oxygen. It's like Saturn is the lord of karma devta. He's looking at you, okay, he's looking at you. And if you are making this kind of a foolish mistake that you are hoarding oxygen and you're selling it in a high price, so when you're giving it in a high price, what you are negatively adding value. So the planet which gives value to anything is Jupiter. So Jupiter is looking at you. So when that your time will come, na, the punishment and challenges will be tremendous. And suppose you are holding an oxygen at this moment, and or there is a mismanagement in the system and somebody is not alert and he's creating mismanagement and people are dying there. So it is kind of a creation of a huge karma basically. So the karma is the most important thing. So as I said, the whatever you do comes back to your work with compound interest. If you're holding oxygen and if you're doing something wrong, you wanted to have a quick money, understand that nothing is hidden in this universe. See, the law of this earth may be lenient. You may escape the law of this world, but the law of the higher worlds are much more stronger, are much more stringent. You cannot escape the law. Whatever you do comes back to you with compound interest. Understand it. If you because of your hoarding oxygen, because of your hoarding medicines, people are dying, it's equivalent to murder. So if you three people or four people are getting killed or dying because of your action, understand that what is a kind of karmic reaction. You're getting trapped life after life actually. Okay, you need huge purification to come out of that same thing. So it is my humble request as a sociologist, as a understand of these sciences, please keep this, because there is a downloadable link below. You can keep I will be putting it as a downloadable link. You can go and check my other links also, but you can keep it as a reference point. I really want that nothing like that happens to humanity at this moment, but I still want, just in case, for your reference. And but the individual chart will vary, because you can also refer this for your individual, because this is a kind of almanac and reference point. But I believe at the moment you have to, this is a time of frustration, this is a time of depression, but trust in the higher powers. There is something they know, and let us all be very very positive. Let us all be together at the moment. Use the power of their mind, use your soul power, believe in the source power. Discover the source blueprint inside you. At this time many soul callings will come. Just follow that, get a guidance, and stay safe, because if you follow source, if you follow the ultimate one, if you believe in, because a lot of events will unfold in your life. If you do good at this moment, huge rewards will be given. This is the time of where the metals will be tested. Okay, so stay safe again, and enjoy. I'm not saying enjoy, but stay safe, and have great patience, and hold hands together with your friends and family, and may source bless you beyond comprehension. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, love you, love you. Best of my regards to all of you.